Culhane sisters. They are awesome.
Yeah. That'd be Mary Jane, Michelle, Linda, and Anya Culhane.
Thank you.
Who opened this joint to serve the food they love.
Recipes from Ireland. Our mother cooked, but our grandmother cooked. Good. You're happy.
But it's the hospitality. It's a great time every time you're here.
This is really living the American dream, what we're doing, and it's incredible. We're so blessed.
Telling you, there should be music in the background.
Absolutely.
Nice job. Nice job, ladies. Thank you.
Welcome to the Eat Your Content podcast. I'm your host, Rich Herrera. Thanks for tuning in. You have a lot of podcasts to choose from, but you chose mine, and this is your home for food and pop culture. For today's episode, I am here at Culhane's on Southside Boulevard, talking to Mary Jane, one of the sisters of Culhane's, and doing a podcast series called Food on TV. And living in Jacksonville, I was watching Food Network one day and realized that we have a lot of local restaurants featured on Food Network and other national TV shows, just supporting the local business. And I wanted to talk to the people behind those restaurants and kind of see how that came to be, and how life has changed for them since then. So I'm really glad, Mary Jane, you're here to kick off the series with us. So I kind of want to start with Culhane's in general. Like, how did Culhane's become a Jacksonville institution? Tell me a little bit of the history of Culhane's.
Well, we're a family business, 4 sisters from Ireland. And we came to the beautiful United States of America in the late 1990s. And our dream was always to work together and eventually to move to Florida. We have a lot of history. We first lived in Minneapolis, Minnesota. A couple of us lived in Texas, all over the world, actually, another sister in Ireland. But we all decided to come and settle here in Jacksonville and open up an Irish pub restaurant in 2005. And the main reason was, we just love hospitality. Growing up on a farm in Ireland, our parents cooked from the land, and we always just enjoyed really good, organic, Irish cuisine. Mm-hmm. And when we came to America, we felt like we needed to get, a Culhane's open and, show America what real good Irish cuisine is like.
Okay. So coming to America, was restaurant tours always the dream?
Not at all. Yeah. Well, the dream was to be a family business. The restaurant tour was a challenge at first because none of us are culinary trained. Okay. But the first thing we did was we hired the best chefs that we could find in Jacksonville. And that really, put us on the map with the Food Network, because everything was a scratch kitchen. We source locally. Everything here is made by our chefs. And, we've always stayed true to that. Okay. Being a scratch kitchen.
Nice. What were some of the ideas that were on the cutting room floor before opening up a restaurant? What were some ideas that were floating around?
Honestly, I was in the mortgage business before this. I love sales, so I do a lot of the marketing right now for Culhane's. I truly believe that that really helped me drive the business onto the social network and getting looked at by Food Network. So that was probably a lot of my social skills. But we've all dipped into different things. My sister Linda was like a HR manager, so she kind of oversees the HR here at the pub. So we brought all of our strengths together. Like my sister Michelle loves food, and she was always a big wine food lady, went to a lot of festivals, learned a lot. And then where Anya was more of the bar lady, there's the pub. So we got all together.
So between the 4 of you had kind of all different strengths of business minds coming in, that everything that a restaurant needs to be successful.
Exactly.
And we love the business, the food, the wine, and bar area. So it was like a perfect storm of you.
It was a perfect storm. And believe it or not, you have to hire the best, because again, we're not culinary chefs, but we love to eat, we love to drink, good stuff. So we're like, if we can make sure that we're consistent on that, it's a win-win.
Yeah. So let's talk about you got on the radar of Food Network. You opened up in 2005. I think your episode, the first time you were on Drivers and Dives, was in 2010.
Right. Yes.
So what was that like to get on their radar? Was it an active kind of pitch to Food Network, or did they come to you?
They came to us, and believe it or not, we were right in that ugly recession in 2008, where everybody was hurting, and especially restaurants, and we had to cut back. So we started doing small portions, like tapas style, and we started doing our little lamb burgers, and they're called Blarney lamb sliders. And that was the first thing that caught the locals' eye, was like, oh, they're having like these little lamb burgers for like $6. So we started doing tapas styles, and then the Food Network caught on to that. And they interviewed us. They came in for like a few days. They made sure that we were a scratch kitchen, that we had a story, which our story is very unique. 4 sisters from Ireland, immigrants coming here, living the dream. But it was a tough start because, we pretty much put everything on the line, like our mortgages, our homes were on the line.
Sure.
Just to start up a restaurant, it's pretty risky, as you know.
Yeah.
But we did it all, not knowing this recession was coming in, but the look of God, Food Network banged on our door. So instead of going out of business, it doubled our business.
Yeah.
Because putting us on that international, fame light.
So what was the reaction when you first, I don't know, got that email or phone
Oh, it was
call?
huge. My sister Michelle, of course, the foodie of the family, she's like, oh my God, Guy Fieri, he's coming. And I'm like,
Who?
woo, okay, is it a really a big deal? She's like, oh my God, because she watched all his shows.
Yeah.
And it was a big deal. I mean, we were on the local news, on the media. Our food sales doubled that year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So walk me through like the day of filming, right? So how much pre-work is there before they even step in the door and start filming?
So he had his production crew come in at least 4 days before he arrived, and they were there every day. And we had to close down as well because it was a private event.
Right.
Especially when Guy actually came in, we only were allowed a couple of our regulars in. You'll see that on the production shoot. It was a very small, intimate gathering, but it was intense. But it was fun. We got to hang out with the production team every night.
Yeah.
And get to, now we're still friends.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Now, I did watch your section of that episode the other night to kind of prepare for this. And you mentioned that it was closed, but the way they edited it, it looked like a full house.
They kind of got everybody at the bar, and
they kind of got everybody in one spot.
They kind of went in different sections of the bar. They did the dining room with a cozy little snug and then moved on to the bar area.
Who was here? Like, was it just family, friends?
Mostly regulars, to be honest.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because my parents live in Ireland and my brother and sister, but we've got a lot of great friends here that we've been in business nearly 20 years, so we know a lot of people. Yeah.
So Guy comes in and what happens?
It was like the local news was there too, and they were watching it all, and it was so much fun. He was so genuinely nice and caring. He was very busy at the time too. He probably had like 3 other shows going on, so his time was short. He maybe gave us like 3 hours of his time, but the production team did all the heavy lifting.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what did he do when he came in? He just came in. I saw he was with your chef at the time.
Yes, in the kitchen a lot. Like
Olive?
Yes, Olive Davis, and she and himself, did everything in the back, the kitchen.
Uh-huh.
And then he came out and interviewed. Like we knew we were kind of like scripted, saying, you're going to be talking about the dinglefish pie. You're going to be talking about the Guinness beef stew, because all the items we featured, we were able to bring them to guests and let them experience it. So it was live, but we had an idea of the questions, because you do have to be a little bit scripted, especially when you know what's being featured.
So Chef Olive did great.
She did amazing. It was very funny.
Job. Very funny, very personable on the camera.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is she still with you guys?
No, actually, she changed careers. So after a couple of years, she went down south. So sad to say, but people move on.
Yeah,
for better.
Sure. It's always great to see her on the reruns.
Oh
too,
yeah,
right?
it is.
So let's talk a little bit about the dishes that you guys had featured on the show. Like, were those dishes that they wanted to see, or did they say to you, pick what you...
No, they wanted to see. They went through our menu, and I think they just, loved that we had the funny names too, like our dinglefish pie, the Blarney lamb sliders, and the Guinness beef stew, because we make a lot with Guinness. And we do like a whiskey salmon. We have a spin on a lot of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you had the beef stew, the dinglefish pie, the lamb sliders, and then they also talked about some other
the wings,
dishes, the wings, the shrimp.
Because we are also living in America, so we have to feature a good traditional like wings and a burger, pasta, all that.
Sure.
Yeah.
So how many shows was that the first time you were featured on a national TV broadcast? Was that
was the big, that was the biggest episode I've ever seen for our restaurant. I mean, we've done a lot of local stuff with Channel 4 and First Coast News, but to be on the Food Network, that was the biggest.
Now, what other shows have you appeared on since then, or segments of a show?
Well, we were featured again just 2 years ago with Guy Fieri, and to be honest, I do a lot of shows with Channel 4, like I do the morning show with Bruce Hamilton.
Okay.
So I get on there every Mother's Day, Father's Day, and we feature, our chefs are so creative. We always do like a prime rib special or a brunch special. So we try and just feature their specialties too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the second time that Guy came into your restaurant, what was the premise behind that second appearance?
Well, he wanted to talk about restaurants that he'd featured originally that are still in business and doing bigger and better. So that was our take, that we were still now at pub number 2. We had grown from the original flagship.
Right. And
also just wanted to feature our success with our Five Sister Spirit Vodka as well, being a new business, and how we kind of survived through COVID. He was just wanting to kind of feature the restaurants that are still in business.
Yeah.
And that was really, a big compliment because that was right after COVID too.
Yeah.
So we needed that little, reinsurance. We're going to make it,
So let's talk a little bit about that. How much has life changed since even that first appearance in 2010, and then more so after the next one from 2 years ago?
Yeah.
So talk to me between 2010 and 2022 is when you were on there again.
Yeah, we're 24 now.
What happened in between those years?
I mean, we just got
business changed.
We grew. We've always wanted to open up that store number 2, and we were able to get an SBDC loan, which was a big deal because we purchased this huge building. It's like 8,000 square foot. So we were able to get the financial, backbone for that, because being a restaurant, most banks won't touch you because it's such a high risk failure rate. So he helped us get to store number 2 by just giving us the credibility. Our fan base is huge. Have a huge loyal following. Like, our patrons have been coming here for more than 19 years.
Okay.
And they come to both pubs now. They kind of like, they like to switch it up because this is more bigger and open, where the pub at the beach is more snuggy and small.
Now I've been to the Atlantic Beach one. It is smaller. And I think this is only like my second time here.
It's a
much bigger location here on South Side. And I think it fits too, because you got a lot of businesses here,
a lot of
office workers that probably come here for lunch or for a business dinner after work. So you kind of need the space.
Different atmosphere altogether, because we also have huge watch parties. So we're big into football and soccer, rugby. Yeah. We're internationally, we love, of course, sports. Growing up in Ireland, that was a big deal for us. So people come in here like Notre Dame. We have Georgia, Penn State. We have Jaguars, of course, the Packers. We have so many different clubs that come in. The soccer, the Arsenal boys. I mean, everybody comes in and just takes over a big space. So we have that room.
And did you guys have a watch party for your episode of
Triple D? We did. Sure. Yeah, we had to. Oh my God, because that was like, just to see us on national TV, and that was huge.
Probably pretty exciting.
I mean, we're so proud. I mean, we are living the American dream, because this is like, for us, came from pretty much nothing. We built everything from scratch. So we're just so proud that we're still able to work together, still love each other. you know what I mean?
That's the thing I wanted to ask you about as well, is, the immigrant story coming here, no matter what country you're coming from. You come to America with a hope and a dream.
Yep.
And many times, you spend your life savings to get here in the first place.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you don't come in here with a lot of money.
Nothing. If anything, we owed our money to, like, I say, my landlord in England. When I was there, I actually owed him back rent. So I had to come here and work 3 jobs to pay my back rent. But that's just who we are, that we're very into take care of business, but always pay your people, pay well if you can. Of course, we're in different times today, but we always believe in taking care of your people, because they'll take care of you.
Sure. Yeah. And you surround yourself with a good group of people that you take care of, that like being here.
Exactly.
And they'll take care of you. You take care of them, they'll take care of the customers.
It's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, the dynamic of working with family. Like, have you ever thought about, when you were running the business and growing the business, like, God, our life could be a reality show?
It could be. And it still is today. Believe it or not, after COVID, it really shook us up, because it's hard. Sure. Can you imagine? Should we open? Should we close? Oh my God, who's not wearing a mask, or who's sick today? I mean, that whole like dynamic of just the fear of the unknown. And then all of us are worried about our homes on the line. Are we going to lose everything? What happens to our families? Because it's not just my family, it's my 4 families. We're all together in it. But we luckily survived it, and we were smart enough to stick through it. Like, I hate to say it, but some people in Ireland even just walked away from everything because they were closed for over a year.
Yeah.
So, we were lucky that we were able to stay open, even if it was just for 20% of our, occupancy. It was better than being shut down.
Yeah. I mean, so many restaurants I was reading, had to close down. I mean, the deluge of them just shutting down left and right.
I know. And it was so tempting, because you just didn't know what was going to be happening tomorrow.
Yeah.
So we were lucky enough that we just stuck it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So after that second appearance in 22, did the business receive a little bit more of
again? I mean, it never stops, because we keep re-airing. So everyone that comes in here is always like, oh, I saw you on Food Network, either the first show or the second show. And then we have people that like travel all over the world and the country, especially in America, to say, I love Guy. I follow all his restaurants, and they just come in because of the show.
Have you ever had a night of business where it was unusually busy?
Yes.
Yeah, I think they aired a rerun
and we never know, because we just don't have the time to like log into their website. But yeah, it's been like, especially on a Friday night, all of a sudden the kitchen is like turning into a 45-minute wait time. We're like, what is going on? Oh, I just saw you in Diners. We're having the Dinglefish pie. And I'm like, okay, that's why.
So do you have all of those menu items that you were featured on the show still on the menu to this day?
Menu, yes.
14 years later?
Yep, always. We haven't changed. And we've been very blessed that everything that we've brought on the menu has done really well.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, having 2 restaurants, I mean, as you spread out, and I'm sure that the dream is to open more locations and all that.
We are looking for investors. Come find me.
Yeah, there you go. Free plug.
Yeah.
Have you quality control of the food and
tough,
the dining,
yeah.
and as you spread out, how do you manage the quality control on that?
Audits. Like I'm here pretty much every day. So my job as an owner and also as a business operator is I walk the building, I walk the lines. I want to make sure everything is fresh the way it should be.
Right.
I eat my own food. So, you'll see all of us sitting here with some family and friends, and we just want to make sure that everything is consistent, because consistency is the key in anything in life.
Yeah.
So we've just, because we're here, I think it makes a big difference for owner operators.
Sure. I mean, living here, it's, makes it a little easier.
It is easier. I can't imagine any restaurant really like having an absentee owner. It's going to be hard, because I feel like just to have that, like the branding touch right now, just to make sure everything's going well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's the future look like for you guys? So you talked about starting the vodka line. Right?
Vodka's up and running. Now we're looking for investors to grow. We want to open up more stores.
Open up more restaurants.
Yeah, in Jacksonville, there's a huge, we keep getting asked to move to like Fleming Island, Nocatee, St. Augustine. But we are stretched out. Like we have our 2 stores, our vodka. We're busy women. We're mothers first.
Yeah.
But I would love a restaurant group to come in and say, let's open up a couple of more.
Yeah.
With our menu, with our branding, and get more people employed. We've got lots of opportunity in this town. Jacksonville is growing.
It is growing.
Yeah.
By leaps and bounds.
Yeah. And people all need a good mom and pop, sports pub.
Sure. So walk me through kind of like that investor pitch cycle. So how does that work if for budding entrepreneurs that are watching this, looking for, capital investment, like what's that process like? Is it like Shark Tank? You just kind of go out there and
it's all about the pitch. We have our own pitch. We have a business development plan that we've in place, and we have trademarked our name. So we've trademarked Culhane's Irish Pub, as well as our 5 Sister Spirit Vodka. So the licensing would come in here, where if somebody wanted to use my name, we could work on the license. Or if they wanted to be like a part owner, we could work on the equity. Because at the end of the day, we always want the new owner to feel like an owner operator.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of ways, if they've got no cash in the bank, well, we're going to have to find ways for them to earn it, right? So there's also equity involved.
And then the fastest way to grow is through like franchising. So is that kind of what you're looking at?
I think more corporately ownership.
Okay.
I think eventually, maybe down the road, when store number 5 is doing really well, but you got to go through a lot of hiccups when you're making sure that everything is consistently the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you eyeing a particular area of Jacksonville? You mentioned that people want in Fleming Island, but where are you guys wanting to?
I mean, personally, I'd like to kind of keep local as much as I can, so I'm able to drive within a 20-minute, like Nocatee would be perfect for me.
Okay.
Because I feel like that's got a lot of growing young families coming in.
Yeah, St. John's County.
It's booming, yeah. So that would be my next step. Again, just trying to find that owner operator that would like to join us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, great. So, is there anything you want to promote? I want to kind of give you a few minutes
we're just
here
a family business that we just enjoy hospitality. We just want to make sure that you always have that, warm, hospitable experience, great food, good times. And if not, call me. You know what I mean? Because we are, we just love what we do, but we also want to make sure that it's always been a great experience for everybody. We're not always perfect. We may have a bad day, but who doesn't, right? You just try and pick yourself up and learn from that.
Yeah.
But being in business 19 years, I feel like we've proven ourselves, and we love philanthropy. We give back a lot. I do have a pancreatic cancer coalition. Oh. I'm on the board. I've been with them for 11 years, and we have our Celtic golf tournament coming up on November 11th, which is a Monday.
Okay.
And it's at the Queen's Harbor, and we've raised over $250,000. All the money goes to local research here in Jacksonville. Not one of us takes a penny. It's all volunteers.
Wow.
So we just would love people to come out and support a great cause. For $150, you get to play at Queen's Harbor. You get a free lunch, a complimentary dinner at Culhane's. You win lots of great prizes. You get a 5 Sister Spirit cocktail at the course. It's just a great win-win for everybody.
Yeah. Nice.
So come join us. It's for pancreatic cancer research.
Where can people go on social to find out more about that?
We actually have our own Facebook page, Florida Pancreas Cancer Coalition, or you can go on to Culhane's Irish Pub. I do have a giving back link that kind of talks about what we do in the community.
Okay, cool. We'll direct people towards there. And I think you mentioned something about lunch.
Yes.
So
I hope you're staying.
Yeah, I mean, I'll stick around for a little bit. And if you don't mind, I'd love for you to kind of walk me through a couple of dishes.
You pick out and you can, I would love to.
And we'll kind of talk about, what was it like on the show making these things, and has the recipe changed and all that. And we'll sit down and we'll talk a little bit about that.
Sounds great. Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy. The chocolate bars and the candy. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Welcome back. Thanks for coming back to the pod. If you are listening to the audio version of this podcast, I am so sorry because this food looks and smells delicious. I have Chef David here from Culhane's. I pulled him off the line for a few minutes just to talk about a little bit of the dishes that were featured on Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives that Mary Jane was talking about. Walk me through just real quick. Talk to me about the dinglefish pie for a second. That's a funny name for a really good-looking dish. What's in that?
So it's got fresh cod, fresh shrimp, and salmon.
Oh, wow.
We saute that with a little bit of garlic and our fish pie sauce, which is basically Alfredo sauce, but we call it fish pie sauce. And there's potatoes and peas. And we saute all that up and get it nice and creamy, and then we pop it up in the salamander, which melts the cheese on top.
Yeah.
We give it toast points. We call them TPs in the back. And it's delicious, man. It's almost like a seafood version of our shepherd's pie.
Shepherd's pie, yeah.
Pretty much the same thing.
And normally cheese on fish is a no-no, but
correct. We do it different.
You guys
here.
make it work.
That's right. We make it work here. Absolutely.
So another popular dish on the menu, but also on Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, was the beef stew. So on the original broadcast, it seemed like a multi-day preparation, a lot of marinating of the beef. And how is it made the same way now?
Well, pretty much because of technology and where we are right now. That video was like, I want to say maybe 15 years old. I don't know exactly how long ago it was, but things are way more advanced, I would say, with technology and the food processing. So we do it in a day. It does take several hours, but it doesn't take more than a day. Because we've condensed the process into a shorter time frame because we're so busy.
Sure.
And we're selling so much of it. I mean, it's like downtime is what you don't need when you're selling food.
Yeah.
We call it being 86 things. I don't know if you're aware of.
Yeah.
We don't like 86 and things here. We like to have it because, it's what the guests want.
Sure. And then the lamb sliders were also a popular showing on the episode. Walk me through a little bit about the lamb sliders. What's in there?
So we get the lamb in ground, and we put our flavors and seasonings into it. It's very good. I don't know if you're into lamb, but it's a super well seasoned lamb. We've got some ground mustard in there, some onions, a couple other special seasonings. But really, it's the curry aioli which takes it over the top.
Right here, right?
That sauce on this sandwich in and of itself is delicious. It's very good.
Oh, right. I'm definitely.
You really can't enjoy it unless you put the curry on there.
Yeah.
You have to.
I'm definitely gonna try that. Well, Chef David, thank you so much for your time. You're the only one on the line, and I didn't mean to pull you off the line.
Totally fine. We already had our pop for today, so
yeah.
Thank God you came after the lunch rush.
Okay,
you did a good job. I appreciate it.
No problem. How long have you been with Culhane's? If you don't mind me asking.
Since January.
Okay.
Since January.
How long have you been a chef?
I've been a chef for over 15 years.
Wow.
I started off at Waffle House in Georgia when they were still smoking cigarettes in there. So I don't know if that tells you a lot.
That's a lot. That's a long time, man.
Long time ago. So I've been doing this for a long time, and being a chef is the only job that doesn't feel like work to me.
That's great.
Every other job I've had felt like actual work. I could literally be in the kitchen all day and not know it.
That's awesome, man. And
absolutely.
I mean, days are long, right? Days are long.
Absolutely.
I think every chef should start at Waffle House for their first job.
I mean, if you want to get the basics and learn how to use your brain really good, you should probably do it.
Yeah.
Anybody I've met from Waffle House that has succeeded, they were good at Waffle House.
Yeah.
People that don't succeed, not good at Waffle House. It's a good metric, man. It's a good gauge for how somebody's going to be successful in the kitchen.
Sure. Puts a thick skin on you for sure.
Absolutely. 1,000%.
Well, Chef David, thank you so much for your time. I'm going to let you get back in the kitchen. I'm going to dig in for lunch here. And
you enjoy yourself, man.
Yeah, it's a lot of food. This will not be eaten in one sitting, folks. I'm not that
Trust me, this guy's responsible.
Well, Chef David, thank you again for your time. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, bud. Thank you.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Thanks for listening to Eat Your Content. If you like what you hear, please consider supporting the podcast through my merch store on TeePublic. Get great quality items like t-shirts, hats, mugs, and more, all sporting the vibrant Eat Your Content logo. Go to teepublic.com/user/eatyourcontent for more great items, and thanks for your support. Welcome back. Well, they have left me to my own devices here to try out this food. So the first thing I'm going to try out is this beef stew, as you can see right here. Delicious looking beef stew made with Guinness, marinated in Guinness and their house seasoning blend. If you've watched the episode on Triple D, it was a really good looking stew. So we're going to try this out here. Big chunks of beef and carrots. I mean, it's just a comfort food in a bowl is what it looks like, or a warm hug in a bowl. We'll try it out here. Yeah, you can definitely taste the Guinness. It is definitely hearty. Stick right to your ribs on that. Again, apologies to the audio-only podcast listeners as you're not able to see this because it looks and smells delicious. That is really good. Now we're moving on to the lamb sliders. Lamb sliders looking like this. Very good looking food right there. Now I was told to put the curry aioli on the lamb, so that's what we're going to do. So we're going to put some of this aioli on here. Ooh, that smells good. That's a good curry aioli. Looks like on a toasted onion roll. It's good. Lamb is tasty. The curry aioli really does tie everything together. Put some more of that on there. Nice toast on the bun. Cool lettuce, tomatoes, and onions. This is good. Definitely tasty. All right, finally, we have the dingle fish pie. Oddly named for what looks like a very delicious dish. Again, cheese and fish normally should not work together, so let's try this out. We got a piece of shrimp right here. It's hot. Potatoes. That's nice. There's a salmon. Yeah, this is good. And then the toast points and that cheese sauce. And that bechamel. That's good. That's really good. That'll definitely make you feel better on a bad day. Get another piece of the shrimp. Hot. Yeah, that's good. Well, guys, thank you for tuning in. If you haven't checked out Culhane's on either the Atlantic Beach Boulevard location or the Atlantic Boulevard location in Atlantic Beach or the one on South Side on Deer Lake Court, definitely go try it out. Get you the dinglefish pie. It's excellent. Catch Culhane's on a rerun of Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives sometime. Catch all the dishes that are on there. But yeah, great food, great people, and definitely want to give them a highlight and a shout out. I want to thank Mary Jane for being on the podcast. I want to thank Chef David for introducing me and making all this food for me that is going to be coming home and feeding the rest of my family tonight. Thanks for tuning in. Remember to like, follow, and subscribe to each content and at Rich Herrera on all social media and at YouTube to know when new episodes are going to drop.